Well, hello, this is Brother D. Roy Cruz, your Life Applications Officer, to let you know that I am so excited today. I am totally thrown back. Um, I got some breaking news for you today. The new, I wrote it down out of the paper, and I saw the march that they did. I was just getting downtown Pittsburgh, and they did the march. Um, and everybody was talking about it at work. There was a march, and there was like protesters out there. It was peaceful protests downtown Pittsburgh tonight. But it was on the new men's rights bill. New men's rights bill. Can you believe it? Oh my God. Donald Trump strikes again. That's my man. If he can't do it, nobody can, but he did it. The guy's name, though, here in Pittsburgh, his name is Hoffman. T something, TJ, TK, one, something like that, Hoffman. I read it in the paper. He's the man who was pushing for this, and Donald Trump endorsed it. I guess this was actually done when Donald Trump actually came to Pittsburgh, because I don't think he's been to Pittsburgh since the election, but obviously he endorsed this, and it finally went through today. The new men's the new men's rights bill. I think that's what it's called. Now, I get the paper at work, and today I met the guy that people were so excited about this. I finally met the guy that actually leaves the paper there for us. And they were so excited about this, and everybody is getting this out here in Pittsburgh. Now, I don't know. What I didn't read, whether or not this was for Pittsburgh or they were just putting the Pittsburgh chapter of this in the paper. I believe this is for the whole United States, if I'm reading it right. But it was in today's paper, and they did a bunch of had a big celebration on it downtown Pittsburgh. There was some marching and dancing going on, and some protesters out there. And the funny thing is, a lot of the protesters weren't women. That's just weird. It wasn't really the women that were protesting. It was some other creeps. But anyway, here's just a few things that were in this new bill. And the guy took the paper off me, so I says to him, hey man, can like I don't buy the paper, I'm just now meeting you, dude. Like, he's like, can I have my paper back? Because I want to take this home and I want to show it to my brother and all these different people he wanted to show it to. He wanted to make a copy of it and all this kind of stuff. So I said, well, let me write some stuff down because I'd like to do a video on it, But anyway, I was writing real quick, so you'll have to excuse me. Here's just a few things that are in this new men's law or bill or whatever it is. New men's rights. Now, here's what's in it. And there's like 13 inquiries in this that were in there. But I took out, you know how I am. I took out the ones that some of them don't apply to me. Like, never bothered me. But I took out the ones that I felt were very significant. But there was like 13 icons in there. of what this new men's rights bill is going to be about. Here's one of them that I highlighted in there. If a woman aborts a child against the able father's will, the father or husband or ex-boyfriend can charge the woman the price of adoption. So, in other words, a woman can do what she wants to do with her body, but not if she has if she has a husband or if the father of the child is known. Can she do what she want to do with her body? I'm not trying to be funny. This was part of the bill. Okay? He can charge her. If she aborts that child without his say-so, he can charge her. He can take her to court and charge her the price of adoption. I mean, only Donald Trump. Only Donald Trump. Here's another one. A man can now freely reject alimony. Oh my God. Where was this when I got divorced? Oh my goodness. A man can now freely reject alimony to ex-wife if she is under 60 and able to work. There are other or has other forms of income. A man can now freely reject alimony to his ex-wife if she is under 60 and able to work. So in other words, if I'm working a rinky-dink job and my wife is well able to work, okay, she doesn't get to just take money out of me just simply because of the divorce. She can go get a job. Now there's I don't think it's just like a cold shot like that, but I think that, I think like he has to like cover her for so many days until she gets a job or something like that. That was in there too, but I just highlighted the stuff that really caught my eye. New child support law is part of this men's right law. Child support law. Now the father doesn't put child support into a woman's hand. You can't just no longer, part of this men's new rights, no longer can or should I say has the man, does he have to put child support money into the woman's hand? Okay? The support is put into vouchers for the child's needs, and the support can be waived by the father. Rights of custody and the expenses spent during time spent with child. So in other words, if a man breaks up with a woman, divorces a woman, instead of her just like having this, using him for money, using child support to get to him, okay, instead of him suffering the whole child support disease, what's going to go on now is that if he takes care of that child, he no longer has to worry about, only if he totally abandons his child. But the way they're going to do it now is instead of him giving money out of his pocket to her, I think that's what it's saying here. Instead of him giving money out of his pocket to her, and her alone, whenever he takes the child and he takes care of the child for a couple days, couple weeks, whatever, that's considered child support. It's no longer a cash thing anymore, because I'm glad Trump did something about this because, all these people, all these women getting away with this, man. It's just like they purposely break up with guys just so they can get the support money, But the support can be waived by the father's rights of custody and the expenses spent during the time with the child in custody spent with child, and support is only 10% of the father's income. But the father is free to pay as much as he wants if he does choose to pay cash. Because he doesn't have that time. So only if you totally abandon your child do you have to pay support. But if you choose to be in your child's life, no longer is child support going to be a problem for you. Because in other words, if I take care of my child, and let's say, my child needs clothes, so I buy her a couple outfits of clothes while she's staying at my house. I get her hair done, okay? I do all these different things for her. All the expenses are mine while the child is with me. That is the new child support. That's it. There's no more, what do you want to charge me for child support? Okay. Meanwhile, you look at your child, no hair done, no new clothes, but mom got a new refrigerator. Mom just bought a new car, No more of that nonsense. No more of that nonsense, okay? This is the one that's going to hurt some people right here. It even hurt me a little bit because, I still believe that, men just got to keep their hands off of women, and, it's not a problem for me because I'm not a fornicator. So, but they got this new rape law for men. It says, if a woman willfully chooses to be alone with a man in private places like a bedroom, the back seat of a car, or in the woods late at night, there is no right to claim rape. Okay? I mean, in a way, I agree with that. In a way, I don't. Because why was she with him? Why would you? How did you get in the back seat? Willfully get into the back seat? It'd be different if he dragged you and pulled you in the back seat. But what was y'all in the back seat of the car late at night for? But wait, that's not all. Like a bedroom, the back seat of a car, or in the woods late at night, there is no right to claim rape unless there are signs of what's that word? Unless there are signs of obvious. Well, I'll say obvious. I put obvious because I didn't understand the word. The word means obvious. Unless there are signs of obvious abuse and struggle. Also, if a woman is a prostitute, and this ain't the way it said it, this is the way I wrote it down. But I wrote it down in a way you could understand it because I had to read it over and over again to see what they were saying. I got it. This ain't exactly how they say it, but paraphrasing it, this is what they said. Also, if a woman is a prostitute, porn star, or involved in any scandal among partners, in other words, if the woman has more than one partner she's sleeping with, okay? None of the men are responsible for her pregnancy. So you can't sit there and do like a gangbang, so to speak. Like you can't be doing a porn shoot and get pregnant and then charge some man child support. You put yourself, you degrade yourself like that. You're at your own risk. Okay, nobody's, it's your problem because, like, let's say you were doing a porn shoot and you was sleeping with 5 or 10 men. Okay, and you know what I'm saying, there was no condom law or nothing like that. Okay, they were under the impression that, you were ready for this. You know, um, so if you get pregnant out of that, you can't sit there and say, it was guy number 3. You can't do that. No more of that nonsense, okay? This is another one that's going to piss some people off, okay? Rights in the armed forces. Men can now choose to only train with men and have men leadership over them during training. Men can request as a group to separate their training environment from women's. So in other words, men can choose whether they want, like it used to be where, when women go into the military, they're in the military. The only thing that they don't share with the man is, the bed, the barracks and the showers, okay? But everything else they share with the man. No more of that. From now on, according to this new bill, men can choose whether they can choose as a group, a committee, whether they want, women. They can make new policies about women, working alongside of them in the military, okay? Because women already have everything they need to train separate from men. Now, I'm sure that doesn't exclude other forms of training. But basically, basic training, the men are allowed to say whether or not they want women, okay, to be working alongside them the whole time, so to speak. I mean, it ain't training if you exclude the women, period, from training with men. It ain't training. But now, man, and that's going to work for women too. I mean, that's just common sense. That's going to flip side of that is that women can choose to have their own thing in the military, and women and men aren't allowed to. They can have their own staff sergeants, lieutenants, sergeants, captains, and all like that, and they don't have to mix with each other until they're doing certain things in the military. Then they have to work together as a group. But just like when it first started, women back to women being separate from, and I think that's good. I think there's a lot of problems. I think there's a lot of sexual harassment. This protects the woman more than it does the man because there's a lot of sexual harassment in the military. There's women who had to step out of the military because they got pregnant, and stuff like that. That's going to put a stop to that nonsense. Okay. But men can choose to only train with men and have men leadership over them during training at their request as a group to separate their training environment from women's and keep women from the front lines of battle. So that goes also in battle too. If the leader, sergeant, whatever person I saw it there, I think it's lieutenant. Don't quote me. I'm not. I never been in the service, but the commander. That's it. I forget what kind of commander, but it's the commander, scout commander or something like that. The scout commander. If the scout commander is a man, he can choose whether or not he wants to put women in the front or in the back based on their ability. No more do they get put in the front of the war. Okay. Now that's probably what they was downtown protesting about. That stuff like that, because basically what you're saying is that a man can be honest and say that a woman can't do it the way a man does it, and you don't want to put a woman in the front lines of a battle because you could say, well, to protect the women or because the woman is weak in that aspect compared to the man, okay? I understand where it hurts. I understand where it's going to make some people angry, but I understand where it's good. To me, it's better for the woman. To me, personally, I don't see nothing wrong with women being in the military. I just don't agree with women being in battle. I don't think the battlefield is a place for a woman. I just don't. So to me, this is like I knew this was going to eventually happen because of all the nonsense that's happened so far. Eventually, somebody was going to stand up and cut it down the middle and put things back the way they were. Also, sexual harassment laws for men. Oh, this one's funny. Sexual harassment laws for men, and can cause sexual harassment by any act that a woman or group do when they are alone with the man. Even certain forms of dress can be called sexual harassment. Wow, I think that was the last one. Yeah, that's all. There was a bunch of them, but these are just the highlights that I covered out of this men's new men's rights bill. I think it's a bill. But new laws for men. I just think it's awesome. I think it's awesome. With all that said, in closing, like I said, I'm really excited about this bill. I'm really excited about Donald Trump, and even here in Pittsburgh, what he's doing right here in Pittsburgh. With all that said, I'd like to say, psych! Psych! Now, whoever watches this, if anybody ever watches this, okay, you're probably thinking, I knew he had to be tripping, you know. But let's face it, do men have any rights? Do we have any rights? Okay? What are men's rights? If anyone watches this video, do me a favor and tell me what rights do men have, just like women have rights, gays have rights, there's religious rights, there's all kinds of rights for all these different peoples. What are men's rights? What are men's rights? If anyone watches this video, please answer me and tell me what are men's rights. Okay? Do men have rights? Now we know women's rights are to make drastic personal decisions at the expense of men and anybody and everybody else. Let me say that again. Women rights are to make drastic personal decisions at the expense of men and anybody and everybody. Women have so many rights today that because of women's rights, it's corrupting, it's causing corruption in marriage. Not saying that women need to, women don't need rights against their own husbands. Okay? But we got it like that. Okay? These women's rights are out of hand. They're causing divorce. Okay? And you knew I was probably off the mountain, fell off the mountain or something when I was talking about child support. Now don't get me wrong, men can charge women child support too, but the line is very thin. The line is very thin. And men can never charge women alimony, not from what I understand, and and then it's like everything is sexual harassment with women. Everything is rape. You say the wrong word. You could have been just trying to be nice. One of the things that I've been taught from my employer to be careful of, because I work around a lot of women. I was told no matter what a woman says to you, don't get comfortable with a woman. See? I was told don't get comfortable with women. Why? Because women will say things to men, okay? But men aren't allowed to say that back. A woman can say something to you that seems kind of sexual or seems kind of like she's implying that she wants to go out on a date with you or something. And you start flirting with her back, she can flip that around and call that harassment. I mean, there was a woman that I was talking to today. Okay? And I just now found out she got a boyfriend. All that time we've been talking. And I felt kind of safe because she ain't got no ring on her finger. But after really getting into her, we got to talking about, things that we have in common. And come to find out she got a boyfriend. So now I know. I gotta watch. I have a place now that I'm at with her where I gotta watch. I gotta be careful what I say. And I gotta be careful. Even though she likes to talk to me, I gotta be careful. Sometimes I'm gonna have to put some distance there because I don't want it coming back to me that I disrespected her rights. Or that I'm in a harassment. I find myself in a harassment case. Or or anything like that, and I noticed, I have to escort women and I have to help women in different ways on the job that I do. And I tell you, other women watch that stuff. They watch. I don't, they watching me. I don't trust people to watch me like that. I'm doing a job. I'm on the clock. Okay, if you need to do that, maybe I shouldn't be there. Okay, you got to be careful. You really do. You got to be careful. But let me ask you that one more time. In closing, do men have rights? Women got rights. Gays got rights. Women got all kinds of rights. And the more flamboyant they become, the more rights they got. They got all kinds of rights. Children have rights. But all the spearheads, like men, don't have. I've never heard anybody talk about men's rights. Okay? I never heard anyone talk about parents' rights. Okay? Parental rights. And if you know anything about men's rights, if you know such a bill or if you know such a complaint or an article or anything, please say something about it. I want to hear this. Parents' rights, talk to me. Do we have parental rights? And then, here's my favorite. God's rights. Does God have rights? Before we even get to atheism, forget atheism for a minute. Let's pretend we all believe in God for a second here. Does God have rights among the people that believe in Him? Because the people that believe in God do a lot of things that are against God. Okay? So, does God have rights? Somebody talk to me. Until next time, that was fun. I got to do one of them again. Now, I had to have fun with that, but I don't want y'all to think that y'all can't take me seriously. If I'm just having fun, I'll let you know I'm just having fun. But I do think my man Donald Trump need to, he need to drop the hammer down. Somebody need to get in office and drop the hammer down on some of these rights, because you got to understand that that's what I hate about liberalism, because when people keep fighting for rights and 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 rights, what you don't understand is after you have so many rights, that means that the opposite don't have any rights at all. Because when they go to talk about their rights, then the more rights you have, the more rights that they don't have. See how that works? So keep that in mind. I understand where women feel, and that just goes to show you how men and women are different. If women weren't the weaker sex, as the Bible says, why would they need so many rights? Just like children have to have rights because they're considered fragile. Well, women have to have rights, okay, because they're considered fragile. Okay? See? But yet, ever since women been joining the military and climbing telephone poles and driving trucks and joining MMA, okay, they're still considered fragile. They're still considered endangered. Any words you say can be considered endangering a woman. Okay? So, again, if you believe that men have rights, talk to me. If you believe that parents have rights, talk to me. If you believe that God has rights, talk to me. I want to know, what are God's rights? See, I celebrate God's rights. That's why I don't take it personal. Someone that I care about very, very much told me today that I don't like your videos that you do. So I'd like to keep our media separate. We have each other's numbers. If I need you, I'll call you, but I like to keep our media ideas second. I'm thinking, well, wait a minute, everybody else in our family, you're connected with on social media. Okay? You don't have to look at my videos. I don't look at yours. I know what's on yours. I don't look at them. That doesn't mean that we can't connect on social media. But, okay? But see, it's always expected of the man to go along with stuff. Okay? But one of the reasons why people don't like me is because I celebrate God's rights. And in these videos that I'm doing, there's a lot of people that don't like my videos, even Christians that probably don't like my videos. But let me tell you something. God has rights too. We know God don't have no rights because men don't have no rights. Parents don't have no rights. You know why parents don't have rights? Because the parents are the dictators of a child's upbringing. So they don't have any rights. Because if they had rights, then you wouldn't need to have all these other rights. Because, see, the way rights works is when you get into a world of nonsense and a world of good sense don't work for you, then you need rights so you can be comfortable in a world of nonsense. Okay? That's why parents don't have rights. That's why men don't have rights, because in the beginning, men were the leaders of their homes. Men and women played their roles in the home. But now there's feminism, and there's half the population of women of the United States going gay. Okay? Of course men don't have any rights. Because women have taken themselves away from the former natural role playing and decided to choose a type of role playing where nobody's in charge, or she has to give an account to anyone. She doesn't have to give an account to anyone but herself. In a gay relationship, she thinks she doesn't have to give an account to anyone but herself. But eventually, those are situations that are going to bite you in the butt. Everybody, well, I shouldn't say butt, actually bites you, I'll say where it hurts the most. Okay, you're going to get bitten. You're going to get bitten really hard. Because everybody has to give an account. Whether you're gay or straight, you have to give an account to your partner. If a child runs away from home and grows up too fast, he still got to give an account to somebody to survive. Everybody gives an account to somebody. Nobody is without leadership. Those that are without leadership, let me see. Would those be atheists? Would those be people like I just did a video on Mr. Polite, Brother Polite, and those kinds of people? Would they be the ones? But anyway, I'm closing. I'm signing off. I just wanted to have fun with that. That was an idea that came to me when I was reading about women's rights in the papers. I was wondering, where in history did men ever have rights? I mean, this is 2017. We've been fussing about women's rights and children's rights and rights for homosexuals for a while now. Okay? What about men's rights? What about parental rights? What about God Almighty's rights? Okay? I might do a video on all three of them separately or together. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great night. I'm going to bed. I will see you again very soon, Lord willing. Hopefully. God bless you.